Now I am giving you the lecturate on the above topic. Structure of Toba Tek Singh. Toba Tek Singh by Gulzar consists of 8 stanzas. There are 2 major sections according to the subject matter of the poem. The first section presents a preliminary sketch of Bishan Singh and the second section contains the main idea of the poet. Moreover, the translated text is in free verse. The absence of rhyming in the poem depicts the horror of partition. Apart from that, the contraction of lines in between the stanzas breaks the flow of the poem. However, the poem doesn't contain any metrical scheme. There are occasional spandis accompanied by the iambic meter. Literary devices in Toba Tek Singh. Toba Tek Singh by Gulzar begins with an allusion to Toba Tek Singh's Bishan. Manto's story is based on the life of Bishan Singh. In He's God, the poet presents a metaphor. Here, the poet metaphorically compares Bishan Singh to God. There is also an irony in this line and the line following it. Moreover, the poet uses the word partition as a pun. At first, it refers to the amputation of body parts. Secondly, it refers to the political event of geographical segmentation that occurred in 1947. In the line, their heads were looted with the luggage on the way behind, there is a metaphorical reference to Pakistan. At last, the poet alludes to the mutterings of Bishan Singh. This quote represents how the partition caused havoc in his mind and others like him. Analysis of Toba Tek Singh. Lines 1 to 5. I've to go and meet Toba Tek Singh's Bishan at Wagah. Opad di good di mong di del di lultain. Toba Tek Singh by Gulzar presents the main character of Manto's story in the first line. At the end of Manto's story, Bishan Singh lies in the no-man's land at Wagah having refused to leave his motherland during partition. Gulzar finds him still there. His swollen feet remind the poet of his mental agony. Moreover, the poet refers to his incoherent muttering, Opad di good di mong di del di lultain. The verbatim meaning of this line doesn't portray a complete sense. However, it is just a reference to the boiling of lentils. It seems that the line refers to the political turmoil during the partition and how it impacted a commoner like Bishan Singh. Lines 6 to 9. I've to locate that mad fellow. He alone has to decide, whose village to whose side. Thereafter, in Toba Tek Singh, Gulzar says he has to find that mad fellow somehow. He used to speak up from a higher branch of a tree, as if he's God. Moreover, the poet says he has to decide which village is in Pakistan and which one belongs to India. Through this line, the poet ironically refers to the politicians who acted as if they had lost control over their minds. They weren't different from that mad person who sits on a branch of a tree thinking himself to be a god. Here, a higher branch of a tree is a symbol of political power. Lines 10 to 15. When will he move down that branch? That partition was only the first one. In this section of Toba Tek Singh by Gulzar, the poet talks about what he has to say to Bishan Singh. When he will descend from the tree, the poet can tell him about the climax of the partition story. According to the poet, Bishan was not the only person whose mind was divided into pieces as well as the body. Others were going to be killed and amputated sooner or later. At last, the poet ironically refers to the partition of 1947 that led to a series of continuing partitions. The meaning of the second partition is different though. Lines 16 to 20. I've to go and meet Toba Tek Singh's Bishan at Wagah. Their heads were looted with the luggage on the way behind. In this stanza of Toba Tek Singh, Gulzar says he has to tell Bishan's friend Afzal about the deaths of his dear ones, namely Lana Singh, Wadwa Singh, and Been Amrit. They somehow managed to escape from Pakistan, but in the end, they were butchered. Bloodthirsty men not only displaced their heads but also looted their belongings. This line refers to the ruthlessness of men during the partition. Lines 21 to 28. Slay that Buri, none will come to claim her now. Toba Tek Singh as Bishan beckons me often to say. Opad di good di mong di dal di lultain di Hindustan te Pakistan di der fighty mun. In the last section of Toba Tek Singh by Gulzar, the poet refers to the nameless killings of thousands of humans. Moreover, they didn't even leave a little girl, here referred to as Buri. Her parents might have been killed and only she survived. But, they thought, what was the meaning of keeping that girl alive, and the rest is history. The girl who grew 1 finger height every year. After her death at the hands of nationalistic men, her dead body got shortened each year. This imagery refers to the brutality of partition. Moreover, the poet says there were a lot of mad people like Bishan who had yet to reach their destinations. They were standing on either side of the newly drawn border between India and Pakistan. At last, the poet again quotes the mutterings of Bishan Sai. But this time there is an addition. The last part of this quote, Hindustan te Pakistan di der fighty mun, means India and Pakistan go to the bloody hell. Historical context. Toba Tek Singh by Gulzar refers to the partition of India and Pakistan in 1947. The overall poem is based on Saadat Hasan Manto's short story Toba Tek Singh. This 1955 short story depicts the brutality and horror of the partition. People like Bishan Singh and Afzal collectively represent the inhabitants of India who suffered due to the political turmoil of that period. However, the partition has given birth to many stories, ironically to the sad and heart-wrenching ones.